Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and today you see this map, all the really cool borders. Some I'm not going to talk about, and others just we don't usually see because this is Doggerland, and we're going to see a scenario where it just comes back. So first, the French would decide to expand along this coast to, like, I don't know, agricultural. So yeah, they would also just take new border territories. Would avoid this island as it's British for now, but would also connect with the British right here, as there's like a tunnel here. So yeah, now the British would expanding down here, not to be overplayed by the French. No, can't let the French just take all the land you could take. They would claim these territories. And also claim this. But that won't cause any problems in the future. Also, NATO in this does not exist. Okay, good. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so next, Denmark would expand as they would move along the coast, hoping to, like, get closer to Greenland. Like, yeah. Also, this is, like, the first time in forever they expanded. Well, actually, this is the first time in forever that a lot of these nations are expanding territorially. Crazy. Anyways, Germany is expanding. Wait, what? You can't do that. Yes, we can. And everyone just agrees. So, yeah, everyone just agrees. Nobody bats an eye. Yeah, nobody really cares. Germany's a new Germany, not old Germany. The Netherlands would be like, we won, as they would take large piece of territory. Just like, wow, that's interesting. As they would celebrate winning in the war against the ocean, known as the Great Victory against the Ocean. Just, wow. Netherlands big now. Still a lot of unclaimed territory. Ireland would expand now, going all the way up here and over here. Yeah. They would just claim these territories, say, yeah, we claim coastal territories. Yeah. Ireland would make another claim over here just to make the British angry. Yeah. Silly British. Getting really angry over territory that doesn't belong to anyone. Anyways, the British would claim the remaining territory all the way up here. Yeah. British is now connected up to Northern Ireland. Crazy. Which makes Ireland mad. Yeah, the British also claim all of this. Which, yeah, more territory for them that no one else really cares about. Because no one else could really get to them. So yeah, British looking big. Belgium makes a little claim, but their economy's getting like whoop. They no longer has a coast and like that's not good. Not having a coast isn't good. So yeah. You also don't have a coast, so that's why you're going up here. Or trying to. But Belgium will be like, oh no, this isn't gonna be good for us. So they would just claim that. Yeah. The Netherlands would make another claim. Just going all the way up here. Yeah. All the way up here. Yeah. That totally won't make anybody mad. Totally won't make Denmark mad because you totally didn't just cut them off from here. That the British would probably get this before they even got here. So yeah, totally didn't make Denmark mad. But Denmark isn't probably gonna do anything. But they probably will in this scenario because I said so. Germany decides to claim more territory, making a deal with Denmark. Just taking these territories and Denmark gets the rest. Yeah. So yeah, Doggerland is getting divided pretty quickly, but this is an interesting amount of time. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know. Make your own time if you really want to. British would make another claim. Just taking territory along their old border for now. Also making a claim over here. As they would be like, oh, we want that coast. And Ireland says, no. Oh. Anyways, the French would also make some claims up here. And would cut them off from this island. Cut them off from connecting with that island. So sad for the British. They got cut off from the coast. They got cut off from the island. It's just a sad day for them. But wow, how could you have a sadder day? I don't know how you could. You can't. How would you? How would you get a sadder day if you got cut off from a coast? Which at least they still have one, but not over here anymore. How would that affect ports? Anyways, the British and French would divide this territory evenly. Yep. Evenly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. New border between the British and French. Anyways, this area would finally be fully colonized as the Belgians, French, British, and Netherlands would attend it. Belgium would get slightly more territory. We're gonna move the British here. French would get this. Netherlands gets this. And the British gets the rest. Super even and fair. Especially for the French. Which, yeah, they weren't gonna get much anyways. They already got their share. Belgium, they could have gotten a bit more, but what else were they going to get? What? I don't know, what else would they get? I'm not the one creating the video. Oh wait, I am. Yeah. That's sad. Anyways, Ireland, big now. France, bigger. British, bigger. Netherlands, a lot bigger. Belgium, barely changed. Denmark, bigger. Yeah. Yeah. So, the first thing that happens is the collapse of Belgium. Economic collapse after not having a coast. Yeah, they get split by the French and the Dutch. Which for some might be a dream, for others, a nightmare. So yeah, some, it's a dream, others, it's a nightmare. So yeah. British claims this territory. British also claims these territories, which are actually causing tensions between the pals. Ireland claims this territory, which, yeah, that's interesting. Totally not gonna start a war. Well, it's not, because it's just going to create an alliance. Oh, look at old France and look at old Ireland. So adorable. They're only making an alliance. Yeah. An alliance. Yeah. In an alliance. And yeah, only Ireland and France joins. British decides to make their own. Oh, look at the old Brit. Wow. British big now. British now just make their own alliance to get back at the French making theirs. Because we will make an alliance if you make an alliance. Also, gotta do this. This is super important. Oh, that was close. What's that? This is causing a lot of tension. This is causing tension. Yeah. Denmark joins. After Denmark joined, they join. And after that, yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. Hope a war doesn't start. Oh, come on. I look away for 5 seconds and you start a war. British troops would instantly cross the border into France, capturing their claimed territory, as they would also cross into Ireland, capturing large portions of territories. Britannia rules the waves as they would also capture these islands quickly. The British would manage to cut off them from each other, as the Denmark, with the extra land and new population growth in their land, would help them become stronger, as they would connect up with the British. This is going very well for the British. For how long? I don't know, but them being the aggressor isn't a good look, as international support would go to the French, Dutch, and Irish, as, yeah, they would get support from international community, getting some military aid from some mysterious nations. I don't know which nations. I don't know which nations. I don't know. Wow. Anyways, the British would begin a push towards Dublin. Just, woo, we want some Dublins. Woo. I believe it's like around here. It's hard because I can't see Ireland in its natural form. Yeah. British would now begin to push into Dutch territory down here, taking occupation zones of their claimed territory. Yeah, this has gone really well for them. French army mobilizes. They managed to make some pushback, even pushing back to the British border in some areas, connecting back up with the Irish, but barely, not nearly in the most comfortable position. They could easily be cut off again. Yeah, that's not good. British would continue their offensive in the north, as they would just be like, Ireland first, everything else later. They would capture Dublin, as Ireland, after being cut off from the French again, would soon surrender, but there would be a lot of resistance. And when I say a lot of resistance, I mean a lot. Yeah. Now with British forces being reorganized along this entire front line, with most of them being from Ireland, but some of them do have to stay for occupation and to keep the territory stable, because there's guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare. But with these new troops, they will make a big breakthrough in the Dutch with Netherlands. No, with the Danish. Yeah. As they would just go crazy. The French, being cool dudes they are, would manage to push the British out of their territory. Yeah, mostly. And would begin to push into theirs, even with the extra British troops, as they fully mobilize. Yep. As they would begin to liberate some Irish territories, setting up a new temporary government. Yeah. This is going well. But what? Oh, forgot this. Sorry. Now the Danish are in their full scale. A giant wasteland with small population now helps them in the war, when it's been doing this the entire time. Yeah. British invades Iceland, quickly capture their capital city, and they would quickly surrender, as they would begin to exploit their resources for their war effort, promising them to pay them back. They're lying. Anyways, with this act of aggression against Iceland, people would be angry, such as Norwegians and Luxembourg. Just kidding. They would be forced into the war. Just kidding. They wouldn't do anything. But with this new entry of the Norwegians into the war, they would begin to make small landings on the north, with it mainly being undefended. As, like, why would they even join in the first place? Why would they join? Like, why? Anyways, with them having to redivert troops to the north, they would get pushed back largely by the Dutch and French, managing to conquer large territories back, and the British were like, yo, this is like making us poor, and this war doesn't seem too beneficial for any of us. So, lads, why don't we agree to a peace treaty? And the friends are like, we're also becoming poor because of this war. And we say, yes! And the British say, yeah, Ireland, you unlucky. The French say, we don't really care about them, we were only using them. And the British say, yeah, we knew that. We literally knew that. We're liberating them from you. Nuh-uh. We were liberating them from your influence. Shut up, let's just have this peace treaty cut. Alright, here's the peace treaty. Let me show you what it used to look like. You can see big difference here. A pretty big difference here. Minor difference here. And minor difference here too. The British do gain a coast over here that they didn't have, obviously. The Irish are isolated and forced to pay reparations to the British. These two are like, no, French don't. British and Danish are forced to pay the reparations to Iceland that were promised to them, but they were lying, but now have to because of Norwegian entry of the war. And yeah, you can see Dutch gains some territory but lose some territories. French gain some territories but also lose some territories, like they gain territory here but lose territory here. Lose territory here but gain territory here. Lose big territory here, like super big. Wanna see how big this is? This much. This much. That's a lot. Yep, that's a lot. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to be a sheep.